Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1, Texts 13 to 15. Atraivodahrita purvam itihasa surarshina pritya mahakrato rajan prichate jata shatrave drishtva mahadbhutam raja rajasuye mahakrato vasudeve bhagavati sayujyam chedi bhubujah tatrasinam surarishim raja pandu sutakrato papracha vismitam manna muninam shrinvatam idam. Formerly, when Maharaj Yudhishthir was performing the Rajasuya sacrifice, he was struck with wonder upon seeing Shishupal merge into the body of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Therefore, he placed his questions before the great sage Narada, who was present there. Narada Muni then told the king of the pastimes of the Lord and how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always impartial, even when killing demons. In this regard, he gave a vivid example and told the story of Prahlad Maharaj and the Lord's advent as Lord Narasinghadeva.
O sage Narada, I'm amazed to see that the demon Shishupal, in spite of being filled with envy, has merged into the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This Sayujya Mukti is impossible to attain even for great transcendentalists. How is it that the enemy of the Lord attained this? Throughout his life, he constantly blasphemed the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What to speak of this mercy that the Lord has now shown to him at the end of his life? It is difficult for us to understand how throughout his sinful activities he maintained his health and did not have his tongue attacked by leprosy for his offenses. O sage, you are the knower of everything. Kindly explain to me the cause of this inconceivable event and special mercy of the Lord.
O king, the conditioned living entity considers his body to be his self, and due to this false conception is affected by the dualities of praise and chastisement. However, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Supersoul of all living entities, has no material body, and as the Supreme Controller, he is unaffected by the modes of material nature. As such, he is unaffected by material flattery or blasphemy, and it is incorrect for us to think that he feels pleasure or pain from these. As such, just as when he accepts the prayers of the devotees, it is for the good of the devotee, so too when he chastises the demons, it is for their good. He is not affected by prayers or blasphemy. Therefore, whether in enmity or devotional service, if a conditioned soul somehow or other concentrates his mind upon the Lord, the result is the same by the Lord's causeless mercy. Whether thinking of the Supreme Person as one's worshipable Lord or as an enemy, because of constantly thinking of him, one will regain their spiritual bodies. Furthermore, O best of the Pandavas, you should know that your cousin Shishupal and his brother Dantavakra were formerly associates of Lord Vishnu, and because of a curse by Brahmanas, fell down to this material world.
O great sage, what kind of great curse could affect even a liberated Vishnu Bhakta, and what sort of person could curse the Lord's associates? I simply cannot fathom this. Kindly explain to me how associates of the Supreme Lord could be cursed to descend to this material world like ordinary persons.
Once upon a time, the four sons of Lord Brahma, Sanaka, Sanandan, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar, were wandering throughout the three worlds when they came, by chance, to Vishnuloka. Although these four sages were the elders amongst Lord Brahma's sons, they appeared like small naked children, only 5 or 6 years old. And thus, when the gate guards, Jai and Vijay, saw them trying to enter Vaikuntha Loka, They took them as ordinary children and forbade them to enter. Thus checked, the four sages angrily cursed them. O foolish doorkeepers! You are unfit to live at the shelter of Madhudusha's lotus feet. Therefore, you should go immediately to the material world and take your birth in a family of most sinful asuras. While Jay and Vijay were thus falling to the material world, they were further addressed by the same sages. After 3 births, you will be able to return to your positions in Vaikuntha Loka, for then the curse will have ended. O king, upon first descending to the material world, these 2 gatekeepers were born as the 2 demon brothers, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, who were killed by the Lord, appearing as Lord Nrsimha and Lord Varaha. During this birth, Hiranyakashipu displayed intense hatred towards his son Prahlad, who was a devotee of the Lord, and hence the Lord appeared for his protection. Later, these 2 gatekeepers took birth as Ravana and Kumbhakarna and were killed by Lord Ramchandra. Now, in their 3rd birth, the same Jai and Vijay were born as your cousins, Shishupal and Dantavakra, and having been killed by Lord Krishna, they have now been freed from their curse.
O Narada, why was there such enmity between Hiranyakashipu and his own son? How did Prahlad Maharaj become a devotee of Lord Krishna? Kindly explain this to me.
My dear King Yudhishthir, when Lord Vishnu, in the form of Varaha, the boar, killed Hiranyaksha, Hiranyaksha's brother Hiranyakashipu was extremely angry and began to lament.
My brother, Hiranyaksha! These Devatas have made an alliance with Vishnu, who has plotted all this and killed my dear brother. Vishnu! I'll not forgive you and the demigods! I'll take revenge for my brother's death! I shall sever Lord Vishnu's head from his trunk, and with the profuse blood from his body, I will please my brother Hiranyaksha, who was so fond of sucking blood. Then, finally, I shall be peaceful. Go! Burn the hermitages! Stop all the sacrifices! Don't spare anyone who worships Vishnu!
Hiranyakashipu carried out his plans for revenge. He brutally attacked the demigods, overthrew Lord Indra, and took his throne. Seeking even greater power, he left to the forest to perform severe austerities. In his absence, the demigods gathered their strength and attacked. The demons, fearing for their lives, fled, leaving Hiranyakashipu's pregnant queen unprotected.
We must find a place for you to hide. Here's the throne room. Break down the door. Who are you, woman?
I am Kayadu, the wife of Hiranyakashipu.
So you are the wife of that killer. Look, she's pregnant. We must kill the child. He will be just like his father.
No, don't kill my child, please!
Stop!
Narada Muni! We were not gonna hurt her, Sage Narada, for she is a woman, but within her womb is the seed of the great demon Hiranyakashipu. We must stop this evil seed from bearing its evil fruit. We will hold the mother until she gives birth, then kill the child.
The child within this woman's womb is pure and sinless. His name is Prahlad, and he's a great devotee of Krishna.
Even though his father is the most envious demon?
Yes, and because of Prahlad's devotion, you would not be able to kill him even if you tried, for he is always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Your knowledge is perfect. We'll release her into your protection.
Meanwhile, Hiranyakashipu practiced austerity, perfectly controlling his senses as he stood on the tips of his toes, with his hands outstretched. He remained motionless, although ants and worms devoured his body. Hiranyakashipu's powers grew until fire burst from his head, filling the sky in all directions. The terrified demigod sent Lord Brahma to stop him.
O Master of the Universe, because of the fire emanating from Hiranyakashipu's head, as a result of his severe austerities, we have become so disturbed that we have left our planet and come to you. Please save us from this terrifying condition. Hiranyakashipu has undertaken a most severe type of austerity. Although his plan is not unknown to you, kindly listen as we submit his intentions. O Lord, we have heard from reliable sources that in order to obtain your post, Hiranyakashipu is now engaged in severe austerity. You are the master of the three worlds. Please, without delay, take whatever steps you deem appropriate.
O King, being thus informed by the demigods, the most powerful Lord Brahma immediately started for the place where Hiranyakashipu was performing his penances and austerities. At first, Lord Brahma could not see where Hiranyakashipu was because his body was covered by an anthill, as the ants had devoured his skin, flesh, and blood. Then Lord Brahma spotted him and, smiling with wonder, began to speak.
Amazing mystic power! Such great determination! O son of Kashyapa Muni, please get up. You have attained perfection through the strength of your austerities, and therefore I will give you a benediction. You may now ask from me whatever you desire, and I shall try to fulfill your wish. My dear son of Diti, with your great determination and austerities, you have done what is impossible, and thus I am pleased with you. Some spiritual water from my water pot will bring your body back. It will be young and strong enough to withstand the striking of a thunderbolt.
O Lord Brahma, you are the origin of life within this material world, and you are the cause of everything.
Please get up. You have done what is impossible, and I am satisfied. Stop your austerities. Whatever benediction you want, I will give you.
O Creator of the universe, then please grant me this benediction. Let me not meet death by any living being created by you. Grant me that I should not die at the hands of any living entities other than those created by you. Grant me that I do not die inside or outside, during the day or at night, nor on the ground, nor in the sky. Grant me that my death is not brought on by any weapon, nor by any human being or animal. Grant me further that I cannot be killed by any demigod or demon. And grant me all the mystic powers.
Tatastu.
Full advantage of his powers, Hiranyakashipu conquered the entire universe. He overthrew Indra, the king of heaven, and plundered Indra's entire treasury. He brought all the demigods under control, and made them bow before him and offer prayers. Always drunk on wine and liquor, Hiranyakashipu's pride grew, and thus he entered the path of his destruction. In spite of Hiranyakashipu's intense enmity towards the Supreme Lord, his son Prahlad, however, was quite different. Prahlad was a pure devotee of Krishna. He was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana, having very good character and being determined to understand the absolute truth. He had full control over his senses and mind. Like the super soul, he was kind to every living entity and was the best friend of everyone. To respectable persons, he acted exactly like a menial servant. To the poor, he was like a father. To his equals, he was attached like a sympathetic brother. And he considered his teachers, spiritual masters, and older god brothers to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although born in a family of Asuras, he was never envious of Vaishnavas, nor was he agitated when put into danger. O king, Prahlad Maharaj's good qualities are still glorified by learned saints and Vaishnavas. Prahlad Maharaj was always absorbed in thought of Krishna. My dear King Yudhishthir, although Prahlad was his own son, the demon Hiranyakashipu tormented and even tried to kill this exalted, fortunate devotee.
O best of spiritual leaders, how did Hiranyakashipu give so much trouble to his own son? How was it possible for a father to be so violent towards an exalted son who was obedient, well-behaved, and respectful? A father and mother are always affectionate to their children. I've never heard of a parent trying to kill their own child. Please, explain this to me.
I cannot understand why everyone does not just give their hearts to Krishna. That is a real pleasure. Sometimes when I can't see Krishna, I call out really loudly, Krishna! And when I can see him again, I dance in great happiness, Haribol! And when I really miss Krishna, I cry and cry and cry. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey Prahlad, look, I'm so strong. When I grow up, when I'm big, I'm gonna smash our enemies and demigods just like this. Roar! Friends, enemies, everyone's a servant of God. Prahlad, we go to the same school and have the same teachers. We've been taught to hate the demigods. Aren't you afraid to speak like that? No, I'm not afraid. Why? Because Krishna is my dearmost friend. Uh-oh, maybe you're not frightened, but I am. Here comes your father, Hiranyakashipu. See you later, Prahlad. Mother!
Come, my dear son. Sit here close to me on my lap. What have you learnt from your teachers?
O best of these Suras, king of the demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master, anyone who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. Once you give up this position and go to the forest, more specifically, one should go to Vrindavan, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent. And then one should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
Ha! Ha! Thus is the intelligence of children spoiled by the words of the enemy. Chanda! Amarka! Take Prahlad safely with you to the Gurukula and give him full protection while instructing him properly, so that his intelligence will not be further influenced by Vaishnavas, who may otherwise enter in disguise.
Yes, my lord.
Chanda and Amarka, upon taking Prahlad back to the Gurukula, pacified him with mild voices and affectionate words, fearing that if frightened, Prahlad may not identify the true culprits. They began by inquiring gently from him.
My dear student Prahlad.
You're such a nice little boy.
And so intelligent too.
We know you never tell lies.
Just speak the truth. Who has taught you to be such a deviant?
Such nonsense.
Which enemy has taught you this garbage about Krishna?
Who has spoiled your fine intelligence?
I offer my respects unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose illusory energy is so strong that people are fooled into thinking he is my enemy and he is my friend.
What?
How dare you speak like that to us?
Where have you learned this? Where?
I have learned from my spiritual master that everyone is a servant of God.
Stop that talk immediately before I use my stick on you.
Just as iron naturally moves towards a magnet, I cannot stop talking about Krishna because my mind is naturally attracted to him.
You deviant!
You rascal! You! We feel sorry for you.
You have shamed us and now learn from us correctly.
Listen carefully or you'll be beaten till you bleed.
Listen and hear real knowledge.
Hiranya means gold.
Kashipu means soft bed.
This is life's goal.
Enjoy gold and all money can buy. Success and fame. God, I ask why.
Soft beds, plush cushions, and feminine smiles. Drinking wine, feeling fine. Be a man, not a child.
If you are interested in religion, that's certainly all right. Just use it to get rich and put God out of sight.
Eat all you like, kill all you can. Cows, bulls, pigs, snakes. Why not a man?
Divide your citizens and rule them. Tell them you'll never die. Tax them to death. You must learn to be sly.
Come on, Prahlad, think big. Don't just sing. Don't waste your life. We'll make you the king. Prahlad, just be like your school friends.
Chanda and Amarka, the teachers of Prahlad Maharaj, chastised and threatened their disciple in various ways and began teaching him about the paths of religion, economic development, and sense gratification. In this way, they educated him. After some time, they thought that Prahlad Maharaj was sufficiently educated in the diplomatic affairs of pacifying public leaders, appeasing them by giving them lucrative posts, dividing and ruling over them, and punishing them in cases of disobedience. Then, one day, after Prahlad's mother had personally washed the boy and dressed him nicely with sufficient ornaments, they presented him before his father. When Hiranyakashipu saw that his child had fallen at his feet and was offering obeisances, As an affectionate father, he immediately began showering his blessings upon the child and embraced him with both arms. A father naturally feels happy to embrace his son, and Hiranyakashipu became very happy in this way.
My dear Prahlad, my dear son, for so much time you have heard many things from your teachers. Now please, repeat to me whatever you think is the best of that knowledge.
Hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, forms, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering him respectful worship, offering him prayers, becoming his servant, considering him one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge.
O most heinous son of a Brahmana, you have disobeyed my order and taken shelter of the party of my enemies. You have taught this poor boy about devotional service. What is this nonsense?
O enemy of King Indra, O king, whatever your son Prahlad has said was not taught to him by me or anyone else. His spontaneous devotional service has naturally developed up in him. Therefore, please give up your anger and do not unnecessarily accuse us. It is not good to insult a Brahmana in this way.
You rascal! Most fallen of our family! If you have not received this education from your teachers, where have you gotten it?
Because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life progress towards hellish conditions. Their inclinations toward Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others or by their own efforts. As blind men, guided by another blind man, miss the right path and fall into a ditch. Materially attached men, led by another materially attached man, continue suffering in materialistic life again and again. One can be freed from material contamination only by smearing on their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava.
Ah! Oh demons! Take this boy away from me! He deserves to be killed! This boy Prahlad is the killer of my brother, for he has given up his family to engage in the devotional service of the enemy, Lord Vishnu, like a menial servant. Although he is only 5 years old, has given up his affectionate relationship with his father and mother. If a limb of one's body is poisoned by disease, it must be amputated so that the rest of the body may live happily. Similarly, even one's own son, if unfavorable, must be rejected, although born of one's own body. This Prahlad, who appears to be a friend, is an enemy because I cannot control him. Therefore, he must be killed. Kill him! This boy must be killed!
My dear King Yudhishthir, when all the attempts of the demons to kill Prahlad were futile, the king of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, being most fearful, began contriving other means to kill him. They threw him in a pit full of poisonous snakes, yet still no harm was done to Prahlad. They tried to kill Prahlad by throwing him over the cliff, but the Lord personally came to save him. They even tried to crush him with heavy stones, but by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, Prahlad was again protected. When Hiranyakashipu found that he could not in any way harm Prahlad, who was completely sinless, he was in great anxiety about what to do next.
I have devised many means of killing this boy. But despite all my endeavors, he could not be killed. Although he is merely a child, he is situated in complete fearlessness. He resembles a dog's curved tail, which can never be straightened, because he never forgets his connection with his master, Lord Vishnu. He appears immortal. Perhaps now I see what shall be the cause of my death.
Oh Lord, we know that when you simply move your eyebrows, all the demigods quiver in fear. We do not see any reason for you to be filled with anxiety simply due to Prahlad.
He is nothing but a child and cannot be a cause of anxiety. Simply return him to our care in the Gurukul. By the time he has grown up with our instructions, he will change in his intelligence. There is no more need for you to be anxious in this way.
Very well, my dear Brahmanas. All my hope now lies in you. Take this boy again into your Gurukula and immerse him in the studies of diplomacy and politics. I will take faith in your words, that as he grows in your care, he will grow into a worthy fruit of the Asura dynasty.
From then on, Shanda and Amarga relentlessly taught Prahlad Maharaj, who was always respectful and humble, about mundane religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Prahlad, however, being a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, did not like these instructions, for they were based on a materialistic way of life, binding one further to repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. When the teachers went home to attend to their household affairs, the classmates of Prahlad Maharaj would call him to join in their play.
The teacher's like, "Ow! Come on, let's play! I have a ball!" No, let's talk about Krishna. Come on, we want to play! We'll talk about Krishna when we grow up. But now is the time to take to Krishna consciousness while we're young.
Prahlad, later when we're older.
No, while we're young, otherwise we'll waste our lives. The first years of our life will be wasted as babies, and then we'll waste time in our youth, sporting and playing. Then when we grow older and become adults, we won't have any time for Krishna, because we'll be interested in getting married. And then we'll be chasing money, and we'll have kids, and we'll be spending time with our family when we're not working, and the list will go on and on and on and on. During the last years of our life, we'll be too old and lonely to learn to love the Lord. Waiting until our old age to become Krishna conscious is like waiting until it starts to rain to build ourselves a house. These human bodies are rarely achieved. And unlike in other species of life, in human life, we can perform devotional service. Let's not waste our lives. Let's sing Hare Krishna and go back to home, back to Godhead.
We would, Prahlad, but we don't know how.
It's easy. Just repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop this immediately! You have ruined all these boys with your devotional nonsense. I am finished with you. Let Hiranyakashipu deal with you.
Hearing from the teachers that Prahlad had not only persisted in worshipping Krishna, but had also turned the other children into devotees, Hiranyakashipu became overwhelmed with uncontrolled rage.
O most unintelligent disruptor of the family! You have violated my orders and continue to worship my enemy, Vishnu. And therefore today I shall send you to the place of Yamaraj with my own hands. Tell me, what is the source of your power, by which you seem to appear fearless?
Dear Father, the source of my strength is also the source of yours. Indeed, the original source of all kinds of strength is one. He is not only your strength or mine, but the only strength for everyone. My dear Father, please give up your demoniac mentality.
Because you are speaking so much nonsense, I shall now sever your head from your body. Now, let me see how your worshipable God comes to protect you. I want to see him. Where is he?
My dear Father, he is everywhere and present in every atom.
Is he everywhere? Even in this pillar?
Yes, he is in this pillar.
Being obsessed with anger, Hiranyakashipu was very great in bodily strength, thus chastised his exalted devotee Prahlad with harsh words. Cursing him again and again, Hiranyakashipu took up his sword, got up from his royal throne, with great anger, struck his fist against a column. After killing Hiranyakashipu, the Lord was still extremely enraged. In order to pacify him, all the demigods assembled and offered their prayers.
My dear Lord Nrsimhadev, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Although you have killed Hiranyakashipu, you have still kept all my promises. You are the most wonderful and powerful of all.
O Supreme Lord Vishnu, by killing this demon, you have saved the whole universe. You have given us back our freedom. How can we repay you?
O Lord, today we have seen your wonderful form as Lord Nrsimhadev. We now understand that Hiranyakashipu was your Vaikuntha doorkeeper. He was cursed to live in this material world by the four Kumaras. His death is your special mercy on him.
Dear Prahlad, Lord Nrsimhadev is still angry at your father, and his anger is burning up the world. Please, pacify him with your heartfelt prayers.
How is it possible for me, born in a family of Asuras, to offer suitable prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead? I am not at all qualified. One can satisfy the Supreme Lord simply by devotional service. He is fully satisfied in himself. Therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering is by the Lord's mercy. It is actually for the benefit of the devotee, for the Lord does not need service from anyone.
My dear Prahlad, most gentle one, best of the family of the Asuras, all good fortune unto you. I am very much pleased with you. It is my pastime to fulfill the desires of all living beings, and therefore you may ask from me any benediction that you desire to be fulfilled.
Oh, my dear Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, kindly do not tempt me with these illusions. A servant who wants material profits from his master is certainly not a qualified servant or a pure devotee. Oh, my Lord, you are naturally my master, and I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. O Supreme Lord, because you are so merciful to the fallen souls, I ask you for only one benediction. Because of my father's ignorance of your beautiful supremacy, he was unnecessarily angry at you, falsely thinking that you were the killer of his brother. Thus he directly blasphemed you and committed heavily sinful activities directed against me, your devotee. I wish that he be excused for these sinful activities.
My dear Prahlad, a devotee like you never desires any kind of material opulence, either in this life or in the next. Your father has been purified, along with 21 forefathers in your family. Because you were born in this family, the entire dynasty has been purified. Those who follow your example will naturally become my pure devotees. You are the best example of my devotee, and others should follow in your footsteps. Now you should rule this earth as a righteous king until the end of the duration of time occupied by Manu. You must always hear the instructions and messages given by me. When you give up your body, you will return home, back to me.
Thus, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead ordered, Prahlad Maharaj performed the ritualistic ceremonies for his father. O King Yudhishthir, he was then enthroned in the kingdom. of Hiranyakashipu, as directed by the Brahmanas. Thus, the two associates of Lord Vishnu, who had become Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, the sons of Diti, were both killed, being cursed by the Brahmanas. The same two associates took birth again as Kumbhakarna and the 10-headed Ravana. These two Rakshasas were killed by Lord Ramachandra's extraordinary power. They both took birth again in human society as Shishupal and Dantavakra, and continued in the same enmity towards the Lord. It is they who merged into the body of the Lord in your presence. Everything you asked me about how Shishupal and others attained salvation, although they were inimical, has now been explained.
Chintamani played Jay and Lord Brahma. Hari Kirtan played Lord Narasinghadeva. Nilampari played Lakshmi Devi. Harmagopi played Queen Kayadu. But certainly not least, Sri Arjuna, our director, played Hiranyakashipu. The glue that held us all together.
Hare Krishna. So before we all start eating, I want to share with everyone a little secret I discovered. It's kind of like a maternally passed down from the ladies to the ladies to the ladies quality. And it's going to tie into my mother-in-law, Mother Chipaka, and my grandmother-in-law, Mula. And here's how it happened. A few weeks ago, I was coming home from work, and Padma Gopi said, "What would you like for dinner?" And I said something like enchiladas. So we had enchiladas that night, and after the meal she goes, thank you so much for this dinner. And I'm like, okay, so your standard of gratitude is you ask me for the idea, you do the work, and you give me the credit. So, if you like the musical soundtrack, Mother Champaka. If you liked how everything was timed in perfectly, Mother Champaka. All that was done from the director was copied and pasted. 80% of these lines were copied and pasted directly from database Srimad Bhagavatam. So that standard, they made it happen. In closing, I'm going to list the most important list of people. These are the people who are the ghosts behind the scene making everything happen. So I'm going to say the names. The kids know. At the end, you can give your rounds of applause, and then I'll say why. Sudevi Gopi and Manohar Gopal Prabhu, Jagani Vasani and Panapadita, Havamai and Rohini Nandana, Gaurangi and Carlos, Radha Kumari and Vamshi Gopal, Mother Vaishnavi and Nitya Gaur, Nilambari and Hari Kirtan, Kavitha and Hitan, Padma Gopi, Mother Champaka, Mother Jayashri, Rangadevi and Julian, Mother Urmila. So all these parents were either actively involved their kids getting their lines done at home, or in the case of our older actors here, the parents raised very nice quality young men and donated them and said, okay, go ahead and let them do their thing. So thank you to the parents for making this happen. Some of these parents were doing our curtains and were balancing babies or little kids that are doing it. Bhima and Anthony again. Anthony squashed his toe very badly about 2 drama practices ago. It was swollen, it was crushed. He said, I'm going to do it anyway. Today, he was grimacing behind the scenes. So thank you, everyone, made this happen. Enjoy
He thanked my mother, but I also wanted to give her credit for the visuals. She did that. She jumped up last minute to do that for us, so thank you so much. And I also want to really appreciate Sri Arjuna for the angle that he took for this drama, because we've seen this so many times, but the fact that he started out with the conversation, and he continued throughout the drama with the conversation between Narada and Yudhishthir, put the story into context and helped us to understand where it comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So I really felt like it was a dive right into the Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much for bringing the Srimad Bhagavatam to life. Shri Arjuna. Thank you very much to my Gurudev, His Holiness Sri Krishna Goswami, without whom none of us would be here doing this. And thank you to all of you for coming here and watching this drama and bringing so much of your love and your energy into everything. Thank you. We could not do this without you. Shri Nrsimhadeva ki jai! Mahaprasadam ki jai! It is the time to break fast. It is past dusk. Lord Nrsimhadeva has appeared.